Hi, everybody. My name is Ron Van Orden, and I am with AYSO Region 112. I want to thank you for applying to be a volunteer for this upcoming fall season. In this short video, I'm going to be talking about the coach training requirements for 6U, 8U, and 10U. And this is both for new coaches and for coaches who are moving up from one division to another. So, for example, from 6U to 8U. I'm going to begin by talking briefly here about the requirements, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and complete the training online. So let's begin by talking a little bit about the requirements. To coach at the 6U, 8U, and 10U level, you need Safe Haven certification. You need to have completed the CDC concussion training, and then you need to complete specific training for your division. For 6U, 8U, and 10U, the required training is all completed online. Something that's optional, and we highly recommend it, we will be offering field training here at the region, and I'm going to speak a little bit more about that a little bit later. That isn't required, but it's highly recommended. Okay, with that, I'm going to go over to a couple of different sites that you're probably aware of already, but I'm going to be showing you a couple things. I want to point out several things, and then I'll show you how to go ahead and apply and complete the course. To begin, this is our regional website, AYSO112.org. And this is probably familiar to you, but this is how you log in, and then you log into the registration system, which is that we refer to it as the Blue Sombrero system. They are the creators of that system. One thing I did want to point out before moving on here is that if you scroll down, you will see now that we have all important dates here listed in right here on the website, and we keep these up to date. And this is an important place to look if you're curious about when practices begin, when trainings are offered. It's all right here, and again, it's linked to a Google Calendar, so that if you click on this, it will open up a calendar for the entire season. So if you're savvy with Google Calendars, you can subscribe to this, and I believe you do it down here, and that will then sync it up with your Google Calendar or your other online calendar. And you can be really kept up to date very easily with this Google Calendar. All of these, if you click on all of these events, it will have information in there, like where it's happening, a map, things like that. So I did want to point that out because a lot of important information can be found there. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to log in to the Blue Sombrero system. And I wanted to point out a couple of things here. The first thing I wanted to mention is that it's for coach training, you need to use the same login that you use to submit your volunteer application. There has been a couple instances where, say, one parent signed up a child using one login, and then another parent used another login to volunteer. You just need to make sure that you use the same login you use to submit your volunteer application for the purposes of training. A couple things I wanted to point out here is that under volunteer, it will list the different things you've completed in the past. And you can see my information here, refereeing, Safe Haven, and coaching certifications. So if you're not sure, maybe you're not sure what class you've taken in the past, you can go in here and look, and you can see what your transcript looks like effectively. The reason I started here is I want to now move over and talk about AYSOU. First, what is AYSOU? AYSOU is AYSO's learning management system. So all training for everything you can do with an AYSO is accessed in AYSOU, and AYSOU has replaced ASYO, which was used in the past. The reason I want to start here is because AYSOU uses the same login that you used to volunteer. And the system, if you're using the same browser, if you go over and type in aysou.org and click log in. If you're logged in Blue Sombrero, it will automatically log you in. It uses a single sign-on technology. So you have to be using the same browser, Chrome or Edge or Safari, what have you, and it should log you right in. Okay, for 6U, 8U, and 10U, there's a couple of things that you need to accomplish over here in AYSOU. If you are brand new to coaching and you have never coached before, you will need to complete AYSO's Safe Haven and the CDC concussion course. These are free courses, and you access them under My Courses, and you just click open and the course begins. They're relatively short. It's going to guide you through some information. There's some videos in there, and there's some questions they do ask you. You need to complete that in its entirety, and you'll get a notification that it's complete, and then you are done. The same is true for the CDC concussion course. With the additional information we're learning about head injuries, this is an important thing for anyone who's going to be on the field with children to be aware of, and you need to complete the CDC concussion course. If you have coached or volunteered within AYSO before, and there has not been a break, meaning you did this, you were a volunteer last year and you volunteered in some capacity last year, you don't need to retake AYSO Safe Haven. But if there has been a break, you do need to go back in and redo AYSO Safe Haven. Okay, so that's here found under My Courses. For the coach-specific training, I'm going to now talk about how to complete this, this aspect of it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to e-commerce and click on Coach Training. There you'll see the coaching courses that are available, and you will select the one that is appropriate for you for the division you're going to be coaching in the fall. Let's just select 8U, and you do need to buy this course. So there is a modest fee. That fee is imposed by AYSO National, and it is imposed to cover the cost of creating the course. Those funds, we don't see those funds here at the region, and we really have no control over those. So you want to click Buy Now and go through the purchase process. And once that's complete, you should get an email and be notified that you have purchased the course. Once that is done, you're going to want to come back to My Courses, and there may be a delay, but you should see the coaching course. It should appear over here now. So last year I took intermediate coaching, and you can see that that is there as an option for me. And just like Safe Haven or concussion, you'll have an option to open it, and then the course will begin. There may be a slight delay in the time between when you purchase it and when it comes over there. I'm not 100% sure of how long it usually takes, but it should take a relatively short time. If you don't see it, you may want to log out and log back in, and then you should see it. And if worse comes to worse, you may need to go back in the next day and see if it's there. One thing to note is that once you click open the course will begin. You do not have to complete it all at once, but that is recommended just so you can kind of complete it and get it out of the way. It will, just like any other online learning course, it'll take you through some information. There's some videos, a lot of good information in there. It'll ask you questions along the way, and there is most likely a quiz of some sort at the end to make sure that you did retain that information. And it's important that you complete the course in full. So you want to go through all the way to the end, and you want to look for a notification that says you have completed the course. And then once you have done that, you are done. You have completed the training, the online training that's required for 6U, 8U, and 10U. Again, we will offer a field training. We invite you to come out for that. And I really appreciate you taking the time to complete this training in a timely manner. It really helps us get the season off to a great start. Thanks again.